Guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. If you did not watch Match Point Finals, well, here is your recap today. One of the biggest things I've ever seen in Apex Legends history, and obviously it had to happen at Champs. When the story of all stories come together, you're seeing some crazy stuff unfold. TSM breaking records and making history after today's World Championship. Also, OpTic Gaming may take the place of Dark Zero as the new villains after what they did in this Match Point Finals. Some people thought it was fair play. Other people thought it was scummy. That's why I'm interested to see what you guys have to say in today's video. Of course, if you want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends esports related, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We had over 200 people live. I think over like maybe 2,000 people in total show up to the watch party. Thank you guys so much for watching. We had a lot of fun in general, and let's go ahead and dive into it. First thing I wanted to make mention of, Snipe Down giving basically credit where credit is due. Congratulations to TSM, the best team in the game, ended 6th place for FaZe and had solid games, but I can't help but feel a sense of disappointment in the end result. GG's and hashtag FaZe up. I gotta say, I doubted FaZe a lot. I was wanting FaZe. I mean, I like FaZe, but I just didn't think they were gonna do that good. And coming in 6th, being on Match Point, they had a chance to win it all. I was really impressed. I thought these guys really did a great job. Also, Sweet Dreams, even though NRG did not get the performance that they wanted, he says basically if any human on earth calls anyone but Imperial Hal the GOAT of Apex Legends, then they are delusional. And if you're wondering why, I had some people who say, you know, I don't want TSM to win again. I don't want, and I understand, obviously sometimes we want to see some new winners, but one thing I like about this is it shows that you're not good. Like, you're just simply not as good. The GOAT is good for a reason. This guy is as consistent as he is for a reason. Now, here's the storyline with how they broke records, how they made history. They were actually 13th place for the longest time, not doing good. You could see game number 1, 17th, game number 2, 10th, game number 3, they died off drop. It was not good at all. Game number 4, 6th place, game number 5, 9th place. I mean, a bunch of mediocre performances from TSM, if we're being honest. After this, literally just the bottom fell out. I don't understand what happened for the first time. I tried to look in history and we couldn't find, we were on chat trying to get with everybody from the chat. Has this ever happened before? I think it was for the first time I've ever seen a team win 3 games straight to win it all. It's like a reverse sweep. It's like being down 3-0 in the NBA finals and coming back with a reverse sweep. 3 wins in a row, one with 6 kills, one with 7 kills, the last game with 12 kills. TSM overcame adversity like I've never seen before. Only GOATs do that. We tweeted the other day the exact same thing, basically coming from TSM, where they were in 18th place. Things were looking rough for them, and here they come out of nowhere with a win to secure their winner bracket spot. And obviously that's exactly what they did again. Down and out, things are not looking good. They overcome all adversity here and they get 3 wins in a row. It was unbelievable to see. And of course you had some other teams looking good in this. There were some teams that did not do too well, and one of those teams was unfortunately NRG. Now obviously later in this, Sweet had posted that basically, you know, he is the GOAT. Imperial Hal is the GOAT in all of this. But we've been talking, we've been discussing, I sense a little bit of an urgency to maybe make a roster change. And I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to predict. I don't want to, like, you know, shed light or anything, or, you know, say that someone needs to be kicked or anything from the roster. We just know, generically speaking, roster changes happen right after Champs, which is now it's the perfect time to subscribe to the channel because things will happen very shortly. People will retire. Probably by the time of uploading this video, someone will probably announce that, you know, I had fun, but unfortunately it's my last event. I'm moving on. That probably will happen, just so you know. Sweet Dreams, unfortunately, I just don't see him sticking with this roster. I don't know if it's going to happen. I would love for it to happen. I love Guild, love Nathan, and I really want the best for this roster. I wanted them, you know, basically things to go better, but just with inconsistencies as far as being in the top spots, they just keep making it to finals and being in the middle of finals. They're not just clutching up like they want to be. That's not the performance I know they want. They want more than that. And will they make a roster change to make it happen, or are they going to stick it out? Interested to see your thoughts on that down in the comment section below. Now, on the backside of this, you did have some crazy performances coming out of, like, you know, teams like the Dojo. I mean, think about the Dojo. Enemy literally was like retired. He's not going to play no more. Designful was getting off of E8. That roster didn't go well. And then he makes Champs. E8 doesn't make Champs. All of a sudden, the Dojo almost win the entire tournament on Match Point. Now, there was a little bit of frustration because in that game where Imperial Hal, TSM, Verholz, Reps, whatever, they won that game, there was actually a fight between Hal and there was a fight of Dojo. So basically, if you did not watch it, TSM was inside the tunnel. Dojo was keeping them out of the tunnel. Start a Fight Esports was on top of the hill. Well, they decide to start fighting, and enemy basically forgets that digital threat was in the crafter. He gets called out and he gets killed because of it. It griefed their game. It made things go downhill for them, and that's where you had teammates bickering. Unfortunately, Apex cut the audio off as it was getting good, but you have to see this frustration between the dojo. Roll the clip.
We have triple digits. You have wall?
They're crowd pushing up, I think.
You want me to wall this? Dude, oh, close, roll it. Not yet. 100 done. Play over. Base
Let them
died.
die to zone.
Yep, base died.
Let them die to zone.
Enemy, you're by yourself.
Do we have
Island
nades?
open.
Do we have nades? Yes, play.
Somebody
Play.
else please.
Sorry.
I forgot to check.
Shoot him. There's my cue. Where's my ult? Crack.
Coming.
Stay there. You want me?
I forgot what did you do.
Every time. Every fucking time.
So you can see Designful was not happy, and a lot of choice words coming out of Designful. The passion is there. I feel him, honestly. I mean, Timmy very clearly said we all have triple digi. Then he very clearly said, enemy, you're out there in the open by yourself. Then enemy gets one clip, and Designful was not happy. And of course, that's why he was going off on his teammate. So you feel the frustrations, and unfortunately, you hate to see that. Dojo had a really good chance at coming out on top of that. And honestly, if he wouldn't have made that rookie mistake, who knows if TSM would have won it all right there. Not sure, but obviously they seized the opportunity. And now comes the topic of OpTic Gaming. If you look back at this scorecard, you're probably confused as what in the world happened. OpTic Gaming finishes in first with 89 points as far as the score goes. Now, they didn't get first overall because it's match point. TSM won the final game, and that's what it was about. But they did have the most points, and you look at this, they got first place in game 1. First place in game number 2. No, I'm sorry. First place in game number 3. Then they had second place in game number 4. And if you did not watch that, if it was not for NRG, OpTic would have had it wrapped up in 4. And it really almost went that way. Unfortunately for OpTic, it did not go that way. And then the next game, they get 3rd. And then the final 7th game, they get 3rd. They get really, really close multiple times, but it just doesn't play out in their favor. Now, in this game number 3, not only did they win that game, but they had actually griefed a team known as Dreamfire. Dreamfire obviously was on match point. They were the second team to be on match point. They were almost on match point with OpTic Gaming, but OpTic saw an opportunity to basically keep Dreamfire from getting on match point because they were very, very close. So instead of landing at their POI like a lot of these guys had agreed to do, they decided to triple land contest on Dreamfire and KCP as well and grief all of their games. There was a lot of people not happy with this, and we'll continue in that in just a second, but that's where the conversation spikes. Do gentlemen agreements really even matter in champs, or do you just kind of basically go all out? There's millions of dollars on the line. It's the final tournament of the year. Just put everything you got. This is the moment of realization of what OpTic was doing, where fans were not too happy. Roll the clip.
Knockdown right in front of him to play off of from a slight lip.
But OpTic are here! They didn't land it down base. OpTic, the rogue element, have come in to immediately third party this, and I'm not sure either team expected it.
I'm sure their invite to the party was lost in the mail somehow, but don't worry, they will not miss it for the world. SkittleK getting involved here too. He's got the...
So obviously, like, they don't normally land there. They normally land it down Beast, which is a little bit further away from there. But instead of doing that, they decided to go on the contest and make sure that Dreamfire did not have a chance. Now, of course, there was a little bit of conversation as to whether or not this was ethical or honorable or whatever it may be. And when OpTic Gaming posted one more win, the people came out like crazy. You can see almost 2,000 likes, almost 9,000 comments of people calling OpTic Gaming the noob team, the noob team, noob team, noob team. So cringy, so cringy. They were mad that OpTic did not stay true to their word and actually went along with something like this. Now, we were talking about this live on stream and like basically in the chat. Is this ethical? Is this honorable? I mean, it is champs. You know, does gentleman agreement actually still continue? Or is it basically, look, fend from yourself? It's dog eat dog world. You know, we're not keeping to the integrity anymore. Well, OpTic Gaming saw these comments and they posted themselves, noob team. Now, people in the comments were still going crazy. You could see another post with over 9,000 comments here where people were so aggravated about how you're the noob team, OpTic, and basically like, you know, you guys got to get over this. Like, this is insane. Like, some people were even wondering if they're going to get blacklisted from scrim. So OpTic became the villains really quick after they decided to do this. Now, I think personally, it's all fair play. I think honestly, people rely on GAs too much. Either you need to make a very strict rule set from Apex itself that says you must do this, or you get over it and stop relying on people to keep their word. Now, the thing is a lot of times the scrims are not hosted, most all the time, are not hosted by officials. They're hosted by players. Players get to make those decisions as to who gets blacklisted from scrims. So whenever people make decisions like this and teams get upset that you're not playing by what you said you were going to play by, are there going to be repercussions? Obviously, that's something that people worry about, but I can't personally see that happening. I think it's champs. I think at champs, everything is fair play. That's whenever you can really just kind of go crazy. Actually, we saw Dreamfire doing the same thing later, and it kind of bit them in the butt as well. So unfortunate stuff to see, but OpTic Gaming in the end, despite doing that, and despite it working in the moment, did actually not come back to really benefit them at all. Unfortunately, they were removed from the tournament after not winning at all. They literally just choked for the rest of the tournament, unfortunately. But they did play very well, and I think that was the highest points we've ever seen in champs. I think last year Furia got 85. This year, OpTic Gaming with 89. Just a ridiculous tournament from them. Now, Blackhand did go on to tweet as well, finished 3rd overall. Thank you to my teammates. Basically, this was a massive, like a success for them. And you could see TSM has now cemented themselves as the most earning team again. I think it was like always that way, but basically there were some certain players that have gone up and, down or whatever. But TSM is like light years ahead now, I think, and they have just done so well. Now, Dark Zero obviously did win Split 2 playoffs. They won last year's champs as well, so they're really up there also. But now TSM has really just set themselves a level ahead. This is good stuff to see, and obviously very impressive. I think a lot of people may get upset that, yeah, TSM keeps winning, whatever. But look, it's time to just get better. I mean, they keep winning for a specific reason, right? And you've got to increase yourself if you're going to basically be on that level as well. No one's writing a script despite the memes. No one's making TSM win. They are just clutching up when it matters the most. And might I say, it wasn't always the easiest of rotations either. So I'm interested to see what you guys think about not only champs, not only the results, but obviously it's time for roster mania. It's time for people to step away and decide to move on. Those announcements will be coming very soon. You need to make sure you've liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know down below, what are your predictions for roster changes moving on? If I had to make any right now, I think 100 Thieves might make a roster change. I think at least if they don't make a roster change with those people, they might make a new team to join them as well. Or either the dojo could get picked up by 100 Thieves. I don't know at this point. However, I also think you might see a roster change with NRG. Just interested to see if you guys agree. Let me know down in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves. It's Viber Night, only positivity. Until the next time, I'll see you all later, Gators.